Good day, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Intimate Conversations with Isa Favorite. You know, where we get to talk about life, we got to talk about everything that happens around us. And I'm sure you will agree with me that the times we live in, the stress levels are something else. There is just so much going on that individuals are carrying so much. And there is a need to actually deal with all the stresses that we face. We've got, of course, we know you can go to the doctors, they will give you this, and then they tell you rest, and they tell you all sorts of things that you need to do. But there is also an alternative that you can look at that will also just assist you to take away the stresses of life, to take away some of the issues that are informing the kind of behavior that you are living or that you are displaying, that people get to see, could be influenced by a number of issues of childhood development and all that. And I'm sure you're wondering, what is you talking about today? I'm talking about holistic healing, and where we look at the entire being of an individual and you say, how then do we take care of you in a way that will help you to live a much more fulfilling, a much more enhanced and better life. And you know, I don't know these things. I find people who come and share with us what they do or how can we be better individuals. And I've got with me Golda on the studio. She's a holistic healer.
Thank you.
Welcome, and thank you for agreeing to be a guest on my show.
Thank you, Isa. Thank you for the invite. It was out of the blue, and it was quite a nice surprise, actually.
Yes, you must thank Google.
Thanks.
So you'd say, whatever it is that you're doing, Google knows you. Because I found you on Google. I was like, holistic healers near me, and boom, your name popped up, you know? So can you tell us, for somebody who's sitting and thinking, what is this holistic healing? What is she talking about? Just, you know, your background in terms of your approach to holistic healing. And I'll probably come in, or I'll allow you. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, 100%. I have been a holistic therapist since 2014.
Okay.
So I've almost been doing this for 10 years. And my journey with it began when I reached a crossroads in my life.
Okay.
So I had to relook at what was I doing, where was I going, how was my mental state, my physical state, my emotional state. And I realized one thing, and that was that for you to, as you said in the intro, that to be a holistic person, it's not necessarily taking meds, or it's not necessarily taking leave or booking into a spa. It's not about that. Living a holistic life is being resilient. That whatever it is that life throws at you, that you are emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually prepared to deal with that. Mm-hmm. And to do that, we have to heal ourselves on all those levels.
Yes.
So holistic healing is essentially looking at your spiritual expression, looking at your mental expression, your emotional expression, and then how does that manifest or express itself physically in the body. Okay. So any illness is something that would have started with thoughts and emotions, and then that would eventually filter down into your body. And as holistic healing and energy healing works with energy.
Yeah.
So it is literally taking energy and moving it around so that where energy is blocked or dammed up, that is where an illness could create. Mm-hmm. So energy would come in and help to alleviate that block so that the energy can flow through the body with ease again, and then alleviating physical symptoms. But
before, let's just pause there. You're saying you were at a crossroads in terms of your own life, and then you had to take a step, and then you had to. Did you meet somebody who then took you through that, and then you underwent training yourself, or how did that go?
Basically, yes. So I had this moment where I was questioning everything in my life, and then I said, "What's next?"
Okay.
And then I was kind of brought a book,
Okay.
and it's called The Celestine Prophecy.
Okay.
And there's a movie that they made about it as well. And the Celestine Prophecy talks about how energy flows through us, through nature, and that everything that has been created with an energy, an innate energy, and that is our life force energy.
Okay.
And that if you allowed yourself to see it in others and in plants and in animals, that you would do so. And that book kind of opened my eyes to the reality that there is far more to life than what we think and see in this physical reality. And then I asked the question and I said, how do I open this door? And I was led to a Reiki teacher who then I did a Reiki course with up to master level. And so in developing my spiritual power through the Reiki course, I then came to realize, but the reason why I reached the crossroads was because my purpose in this lifetime is to help other people come to holistic realization. And I'm going to say holistic realization because we like to get stuck on, I need a cream for this or I need a pill for that, but we're forgetting about the programming that we have in our subconscious mind. We're forgetting about the emotional triggers that we have through the experiences we've had in our lifetime. I can see you want to go deeper with this.
And okay, there's you. All right. So one of the issues that you say, you're saying sometimes you will then get to this crossroad. Life will as you navigate life, it will bring you to a point where it feels like a crossroad or a cul-de-sac, or you just don't know what to do anymore.
A brick wall.
You know, yeah, like
Call it a brick wall, because
yes.
very often it's somebody would run right up against this brick wall. Your life falls apart, and then you say, "What's gone on?"
Yes, you feel like when it feels like anything, there's nothing that you are doing that is just yielding. You know, you feel exhausted, you feel drained, you feel all sorts of things. And what generally happens, we will either get medication for that, and it will numb, it will make you feel better, but it does not change that.
It cannot change anything.
It cannot change anything.
Yes.
And then you are saying part of no. You earlier on when you spoke, I don't want to lose my train of thought. You spoke about the issue of, you know, the illnesses that where we spoke about also when there's an illness, it is because there's also triggers that will, an illness, I remember when we spoke the other time, that a headache, it's not just a headache. No. It is a sign
of overthinking.
Of something not properly balanced. Either it's overthinking and all that, then it manifests itself through a headache. Yes. And then what we tend to do, we take a pill, and a pill numbs the headache.
But we're not addressing the root cause.
Addressing why.
Correct.
The overthinking will still be there, because then after a while, I know some people who actually can finish up 20 packets of grandpa in a couple of days. Yes. But that is treating the symptom instead of treating the root cause.
Correct.
Yes. So then with this holistic approach, then we're looking at all these elements. Where we're looking at your spiritual, your physical, because when it comes, by the time it gets to the physical, there's this other layers that we do not see, but are there.
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing is that by the time it gets to the physical, all of a sudden we're saying, what's going on? You know, why do I have cancer? Or why do I have diabetes? Or why did I break my leg? Or, you know, why do I have heartburn or acid reflux? But a lot of that stuff is internalized emotions, that we have these thought patterns that loop and loop and loop, that creates this emotional response within our body. And our body is 78% water. You know, if you look at, it was Dr. Masira Emoto, he did a whole study on the memory of water. And if you constantly infusing this water body with negative thought patterns or negative belief patterns, you're going to manifest something that has to be equal to what it is you're putting in emotionally and mentally. And the whole realm of holistic healing is that I cannot take a pill and heal or cure anything if I haven't cured the root cause of that emotion or of that thought pattern, you know, or if it has already manifested in the body, you've held that belief for a very long time. Yes.
So would you, for somebody who will then come to you, if they are on a particular treatment, would they do both?
I never get involved with whatever their medical practitioner has prescribed for them, because it's not my realm. What I do find is that people that have been on medication for a very long time become frustrated because they don't see results. And the doctor would just say, let's add the dosage, or let's change your tablet, or let's bring something else in, or we take something else away. So all they're doing the whole time is they are adjusting the prescription, but at no point are they looking at the root cause.
At the root cause.
Yeah.
Okay. So when then you said it is with the Reiki method, is your energy, where you are then using energy to heal the block. What will make you spoke something about energy blockage internally that will then manifest itself through either a sickness or whatever. What will cause the block? What do you find causes the block?
Emotional triggers or mental belief patterns.
Okay.
So, for instance, somebody that has had a severe heartache, they might start manifesting physically angina, which is heart cramps, very discomfort in the heart, where they would actually start thinking, but I'm going to have a heart attack. And then they start having their hypertensive blood pressure medication checked, they start having their blood pressure checked, and all of that is your body's response to an emotional manifestation of the heartache, you know, or if they lose a life partner or a beloved pet, because, you know, we connect with all the loved ones in our life. So, and if somebody does not find a way to get over that heartache, and they keep on getting caught in that grief pattern, it will manifest as a heart attack or as heart problems or enlarged heart, or you know. And the whole point is to find a way to become resilient within your mental body, so within your mental processes, your thinking patterns, your belief system, and what it is that you believe, that I will never get over this grief. If that is your belief pattern that you've created, I'm sorry, but that's what you're going to create. You will be in grief for the rest of your life.
Because in essence, then what I'm taking is that something happens to you, and we are all different. Our resilience level or our responses to traumatic incidences or emotional pain or hurt differs from one person to another.
Correct.
Because I think I believe that we all are wired differently. That is why you will find others are more prone to respond more, to go deep into probably depression and all that, and others may go through the same, but they will be able to rise above that. But it does not mean if you don't process it from A to Z or whatever steps that it will take, then it is bound to affect you.
Yes, and that is where the energy blockages come from. It is that bottling up of your thoughts, bottling up of your emotions, and not, thinking I have to hold a brave face. I don't want to burden my friends or my colleagues or my family, I have to hold a brave face. But on the inside, you're breaking up into tiny little pieces. Now, that mask that you're holding up for the world is literally masking that hurt. And when you internalize that hurt, it becomes illness. And whether it is severe illness or whether it is a mild illness, it manifests differently for everybody else.
So when somebody will then come to you, to you know, whatever to you, to say, you know, this is what I'm going through, and what. In the process of releasing energy, releasing those blockages and all, do you also sit and do what I would call counseling to help, just to help them to understand where and we are still going to come to the access
Bars.
yes, still going to come to the access bars. We still, just to say, your process of assisting somebody, if they came for the Reiki, not for the access, or they will interact. I'm sure somebody's asking themselves, what are the access bars? We're going to come to that. But I just want to, when somebody comes to you, what will be the approach that you will take in assisting them?
Yeah. Well, you know, people would come for different reasons. So of all the modalities that I offer are kind of interlinked.
Okay.
And I was drawn to them because I believe that I can assist, but I can't do the work for you.
Yes.
So it's very important that when a person comes, that they don't come with the expectation of somebody else fixing the problem.
Yes.
Do you understand? Because then we are outsourcing our power. And we have to, the fact that you've ended up on my doorstep means that your spirit is ready to work with healing, is ready to bring you to a point of holistic health, being more resilient, being more radiant, being more joyful in life, you know. And so whether I do a Reiki or whether I do a massage with Reiki, because I do energy balancing massages, so it would be a full body massage, but I use the Reiki energy while I'm doing it. And the point of that is to release, because again, I'm going to go back to our bodies are 78% water. So water holds memory. So when I'm massaging a body with Reiki energy, I'm releasing cellular memory.
Okay. What do you mean when you say water holds memory?
Literally,
Unpack
water holds memory. So our thoughts and our emotions program our body.
Okay.
So there are I don't know if you've ever heard of Louise Hay.
Yes.
Heal Your Body. And she wrote an entire book how illnesses are related to how it are related to thought and beliefs. And she wrote positive affirmations in how to, you know, kind of work with that. So when you speak, the word is powerful.
Yes.
Okay? What comes before the word? The thought. What is it that makes the word powerful? The emotion, the belief that what I'm saying is true.
Yes.
Okay, so when you speak, you can either speak ill into your body or into your environment, or you can speak good into your body or your environment. And that is why I am merely a tool that somebody that is ready to heal themselves would use to get them to a point where they understand what it is they need to do their healing. So your question to how do I support people? Yes. I offer counseling, but it is spiritual counseling. So this comes from your highest aspect, not from worldly aspect.
Yes.
So this is coming from your soul, your guidance from a soul aspect to say, you are ready. You're ready to believe in yourself. You're ready to take the next step. You're ready to make the changes that you are afraid to make. And often people just need that encouragement. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people come there and they say, I'm ready to do this. And after the first 2 or 3 sessions, they can't, because it literally requires you to want to change.
So when you find somebody like that, what in your analysis, could it be that as much as they believe, I don't know whether they believe they want to change, but they are not ready? Is it because they are not ready that they stop, or is it because the work that it takes to change is too much? They feel it's too much, then they give up. What did you find are some of the reasons?
You know, there would be various reasons for various people. And I think the most times where people wouldn't want to make the change is because it literally means that they would have to change their job, change their home, change their relationship. And those are very big decisions that some people just cannot make those decisions. And that is fine. And that is what we need to understand, that they have come to me, they have dipped their toes in the water, so to say. Seeds have been planted. And they will continue on their journey. But eventually, some trigger event will remind them and bring them back to that point. Maybe not to me, but it will bring them back to that point where they were willing to change. And they would basically stand there and say, if I had done this 3 years ago, I would have been in a different place. Do you understand? So with holistic healing, there is no judgment at all, ever. If somebody doesn't want to make the changes, they don't, because they are physically or emotionally or mentally just not ready. And we just have to support them in that instance until they are ready. So I do, after somebody's had a treatment with me, they'll probably for 3 or 4 days after, especially a new client, would get a few encouraging messages, you know, and to say, remember now, this is what you have to deal with. Did you say a positive affirmation today? Did you look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you?
And it's a simple thing, you know, it's as simple as that sometimes people wait to be told that they are loved, and because they actually are unable also to love themselves, they're not able to receive that when somebody says it, it doesn't feel genuine, because they also don't love themselves.
Yeah, they've put a shield up to receiving love because they can't give it to themselves. So whatever people are giving them, it would just bounce back, you know, because they do not believe that they are worthy. So with holistic healing, even though there may be physical manifestations that people want to heal, I physically cannot heal that unless they have healed their mental and emotional triggers. And that is more what holistic healing looks at, because the moment that we can start, in the same way that ill health filters down from your mental body to your emotional body to your physical body, in the same way, when we heal the mental body to the emotional body to the physical body. So it may take longer to manifest a change, but the change is lasting.
It's lasting.
It's lasting.
Because then we've gone to the foundation, to the root, and we've fixed, and then we go to the second layer. Then the third layer is almost taken care of. Okay. You said to me the other time that also when somebody comes to you, you also want them to say what is it exactly that they want to achieve. So that the intent and the willingness to acknowledge that this is what I want.
Correct. We are spiritual beings, and as such, we were created in the image of the Creator. And as such, we held the creative power as the mirror image of the Creator. We hold that creative power. We have been told multiple times that, you know, you have to be humble, you have to be on your knees and all of that. There's nothing wrong with being prayerful and being respectful and all of that. But what the problem that I do have with that is that when we do that, are we doing it with an energy of grace, to say thank you for the grace? Or are we doing it as in, I am weak and I need your assistance?
I get that.
So when you're doing it from that energy point, you are doing it by giving away your power. And you are denying the creative power that was installed in you when you were created. So we have to take responsibility. You have to take responsibility. If you are going to react negatively to resistance in your life all the time, at what point are you going to take a step back and say, why do I keep on creating this? Do you understand? Asking the questions and saying, this is always around me, and it's not always the same people. So every time, a few years, there's a new person that comes into my life, and the same challenges keep on repeating on a loop. Correct. And that is an indication that you are dealing with a subconscious belief pattern, that you have created or through your life experiences has been created, and you have started to live your life on autopilot according to that belief system.
So, yes, and that's where we go to the access.
That's how we get to the access bars.
Yes, because then I think my previous guests, when we were talking about the healing of the inner child, and when we spoke, me and you, the issue of the foundation in a child's life, right up to the age of 7-8 years, that's where the foundation is laid.
Yes.
The belief systems that a person will live by, it's laid. And as we continue, it sort of cements all the other experiences, then cement these belief systems.
Yes.
And we then, if any change is to come, if there's a need for change, we need to go back to those belief systems and correct those. So let's talk it's conscious.
Access consciousness.
Access consciousness.
Yes,
let's talk.
right.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So access consciousness is bars, which is the foundation of the whole access consciousness movement. It comes from America. It's used worldwide. So it's been probably for almost 29 years. And it is very powerful in the sense that yes, it works with energy. Yes, there are points on the head that we kind of relieve the magnetic charge that has been there, that has been laid down through the years that we've lived and the experiences that we've had. So whether it be money, whether it be health, whether it be your body, whether it be your joy, your happiness, your belief about whether you can create or you cannot create, happiness, that type of thing. So there are different aspects to that we work with, but what access bars, the key to access bars is, yes, we can kind of negate those subconscious belief patterns so that somebody can have a more clear perspective of when things are coming at them in life, instead of habitually reacting to it. Because of the subconscious belief pattern, I now disconnect that subconscious belief pattern through the Access Consciousness Bars treatment, and you now have to look and take responsibility for what's coming at you.
Okay. I would like, the other day when you spoke, you made 2 examples, and I'd like for us to make those so that we kind of make it practical for somebody who's watching us right now to say what an example of those beliefs. I want us to talk about the issue of money. You made the example of money and a child who's growing up. Please make that example. And you also made an example about a father figure.
Yes.
So let's just make those so that I want us to bring it to trigger something to somebody who may not be aware.
Yes.
Let's just trigger those with those examples, please.
Okay. So when we were chatting that the other day, money, we have this perception about money that it's limited because it's a point of view that's been created by our society. But as a child growing up in a home where money might not have been tight, but your parents were frugal, so they would rather save money for later years or for your education than buy you that little red truck or the red dress or the little doll with the pink dress, So as a child, you want something. Up until the age of about 4, we are egocentric beings. So nothing outside of us exists.
Yes.
We are the only existence. What we need, is the only thing that matters. So now you, as a 4-year-old egocentric, life revolves around me because that is how we learn about our position in life. So now you want this little doll with a pink dress. And your mother says, no, there isn't money for it now.
Yes.
And that's the end of the story. So what happens to that 4-year-old's emotions? I don't deserve this. Why don't I deserve it? This is all I want. It's like my heart's desire is to have this doll with a pink dress. Your mother shoots it down and she carries on shopping and whatever. And so in that moment, that immature brain creates this subconscious belief pattern that what I ask for, I don't deserve.
To get.
It's not mine to have. So it doesn't matter how much I want it, no matter how much I believe that I can have it, the world has told me I don't deserve it and I will never have it.
And you are told by your mother or by your father, the one person that shapes your world.
Yes.
You know, the one person that you're looking at, that they will take care of me, they will take care of my needs. So they are the ones, so you believe them.
Yes.
You believe them, and so you start to believe that you do not deserve anything that you want.
Correct. So it doesn't stay with the doll, you know. So now belief patterns have a way of being magnetized and layers and layers and layers being laid down. So now you carry on through life. So now I don't deserve to have that boyfriend, or I don't deserve to go to that university, or I don't deserve to have my first car, or I will never get that job because I don't deserve it.
Yes.
You know, so it kind of perpetuates itself, and it's not because it's true, because if you tried, you would maybe get that job.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking just on that. I'm actually thinking that, you know, sometimes how when you are looking for a job or applying for a job, it will take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 applications.
Correct.
And maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 interviews that you go through. And if there's no resilience, we go back to issues of resilience.
Yeah.
And with those underlying beliefs, then you start believing, I don't even deserve, well, no matter how educated you start believing, I actually don't deserve anything good.
Yes. But by the time you're 23 or 35, you don't realize that that seed was planted when you were 4 years old.
Asking for a
And
job.
that belief pattern was planted then. And it was not because there wasn't money. Maybe your birthday was a month from now, and your mother kind of, in her mind, put it away that she was going to get you
I see
that
she
doll.
likes that doll, so
I'll get it for her birthday.
Yeah.
So even if you get it a month later, you've already created the belief system. Do you understand? So it becomes a whole worthiness issue right through your life. So even if you find the perfect partner, you're going to keep on saying to yourself, this is too good to be true. This is too good to be true. So you're going to keep on self-sabotaging yourself within that relationship, because you're going to say to yourself subconsciously, not consciously. This is the distinction that you have to understand, is that you're not understanding it consciously. It's a subconscious trigger.
So it's not that you intentionally are doing that because you are aware. It is the belief
It's
that
filtering.
that is feeding.
Yes.
So because you're not even aware of it, chances are that, as you say, we're talking about self-sabotage, the things that you do, it's like you're not aware of it, but because they are fed by this belief, so you do these things, and then you wonder as to why is your life.
Why does this always happen?
Yes.
Why does this always happen to me?
Yeah.
You know, so and with access consciousness bars, when after the treatment, you'll feel much clearer. So things that have been triggering you in the last few months, you would look at it and say, okay, but hang on, I know why this is happening, because I created this because I believed that this is what is possible or isn't possible, you know. So it brings us to the point of self-awareness, and that is the most important thing in holistic healing, is to be self-aware. You have to be aware of what is the emotion doing in my body, what is the thought or the belief doing in my body, where can I feel it, does my throat close up, does my heart feel clenched, is my stomach in a knot. There is so much noise in our outer world that we are not, our body is a tuning fork, but it's also the warning system. So the moment you start experiencing symptoms in your body, you should be paying attention, but we don't. What do? We pop a pill, or we eat a Rennie, or we, you know, it's when the meeting is over, I'll feel better. Instead of taking a moment, stepping back and saying, let me calm my nervous system, let me calm my mental body, let me calm my emotions, so that I can just function. But we don't, because our life has become so complicated that we have lost the connection with our body.
Yeah.
And our body is the message system that warns us to say, your beliefs are out of sync, or your emotions are out of sync, or your thoughts are out of sync.
Yeah. I'm also actually thinking that as I shared with you when you got here that before the recording there was load shedding and there was a bit of drama that had me all worked up. Ooh. and as we're talking, I'm thinking, because I actually spoke to a friend earlier on in the morning because my production team was a bit late and I had an appointment and literally I was crying because I'm feeling so, everything that I've planned is now no longer turning out the way that I thought it was going to turn out. And then I'm thinking, oh, this stress to myself. And then the friend says, okay, stop crying. I'm like, I can't. I want to cry. I'm like, I know that I need to stop crying, but right now I can't. I just want to. And they're saying, it's going to be okay. Things are going to work out. I'm like, what do you mean? What does working out look like to you? It's like, I don't know, but I know that things are going to work out. And honestly, I sit and then an hour later when things really work themselves out, because we had then shifted that other appointment that we shifted it to another time. And I'm thinking, how much trauma did I cause to my body? Because I'm thinking, when you are going through that and your body is taking, because then you feel like there's things closing up, there's just...
Yes.
You're causing stress and unnecessary stress also to the body when you can just pause a bit and take a deep breath and
you see, and that's why I say that our world is so noisy and it's pulling us in so many directions that when we have laid plans, we're running according to a timeline, according to a calendar, according to a program. And we are not leaving space to be, for it to unfold as it may. When you notified me that there's going to be load shedding, what were my responses? Don't worry.
And you could tell from my text that...
If I come, I come. If I don't come, I don't come. If we do it next week, we do it next week.
Yeah.
Because you know why? When we get to the point where we can come into acceptance that we plan and life happens not according to our plan. So are you going to accept and say, what can I do in this moment? Because you're questioning yourself, so you're picking up your awareness and you're saying, what can I do right now that will either alleviate the problem or change the situation or change the outcome? There's no use fighting what you cannot change. You see, and that's the problem we have is that people are so resistant against change, and people are so resistant against changing their minds. And that is what causes a lot of anxiety. That is what causes a lot of mental health problems, because we are in resistance to what is happening instead of living in acceptance of what is happening right now and how do I adjust myself so that I'm comfortable within the set of circumstances I have been given.
Because there is nothing you can do about it.
You can stress about it. Is it comfortable? Was it comfortable?
No.
Exactly. So what would have been the point? You could have maybe gone and sat on the step and had a cup of coffee and say, you know what, they'll be here when they need to be here. And it's not, people in the audience might turn around and say, yeah, but that's a fatalistic point of view. It's not a fatalistic point of view. You laid your best plans.
Yes.
You had a schedule. You wanted things to go in a certain way. It didn't. So what is life teaching you now? Be resilient, be adaptive. Where's your awareness? And to not get so hung up on when things go wrong. Because sometimes when things go wrong, they're actually going right.
True that.
Do you hear?
True that.
So we may think, according to our planning, things may be wrong, but what if you had to look back in hindsight, thank goodness that happened. How often But we don't do the evaluation because we're not in our awareness.
Yes.
And that is what holistic health is all about. It is creating that awareness of where is my mental state right now? Where is my emotional state right now? How is it affecting my body? What is it that I can do in this moment to change the outcome that best suits me?
Because as you're talking, I'm actually thinking, when you get to that level of awareness, the quality of your life is much better.
Oh, it just flows. It's
you-
like
your-
water.
Your quality of life gets so much better
Yes.
as compared to when you are resisting and fighting and all that, because you wear yourself down. You get
Yes.
exhausted, you get drained, you get
That's correct.
unnecessarily so.
When we are reacting to things, we are exhausting ourselves. Your adrenals become exhausted. You overtax your heart, you overtax your mind, migraines. You're going to sit with sore throats because you're going to have to constantly respond and react to things. You know, so it's no wonder people have all these small little niggles and sore joints and inflammation, because what is inflammation? Inflammation is fire. What is fire? Fire is resistance. It is to be in anger, you know, to be angry at things. So you are creating this resistance within yourself. So if we can just get to a point where we can kind of come back into alignment with our mind, our heart, our soul, and our body, and to just live in acceptance. And you know, it's literally, there's a book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. I think if he wrote 1 or 2 books, I'm not quite sure. And I'm telling you, that is the truth. That's the honest truth. Do not sweat the small stuff. Reserve your energy to really fight for what you believe in, for the big things in your life.
Yes.
But don't go after every... There's a saying, and I don't know if Churchill said it, but it's accredited to Churchill. It said, if you had to stop for every dog that was barking along your path, you would never reach your destination.
Get to where you're supposed to go.
Exactly.
You'll never.
So it's to become discerning of what really deserves your attention and what doesn't deserve your attention.
Thank you so much.
It's only a pleasure. It was very nice chatting to you.
Thank you so much for coming through. I think more than anything, what I've taken out from here is that the journey towards holistic healing is about awareness, being aware, and just getting to that level where you are aware of all the different the different layers or aspects of what makes you who you are. And when you get to that level, then you begin to live a more meaningful life.
Yes.
That not that you will not experience challenges, but when you experience them, you're gonna look at them in a different light.
Yes. And it's to be curious. Why is this showing up?
Yes.
You know, because now it's like, because when you get to the point of where your awareness and when you're not responding to everything in your life by reacting at things, it does become slower, it does become smoother, it becomes more rewarding. So when something does show up in your outer world, it's like, hang on, this is interesting. Why is this showing up now? You know, where did I have a little moment mentally or emotionally to allow this to come up into my, and then to relook at yourself, readjust, reposition. And it's about being flexible. It's about being in allowance of life, because life is beautiful.
It is. And when you're not aware, then you actually are exhausting yourself.
Correct.
And you miss the beauty of what life has to offer. Your parting shots?
When we close our eyes, when you're in a moment that you're being challenged, I always give my clients this advice. Close your eyes, so you shut off the outer environment, you shut off the pictures and the images that are triggering you. Take a deep breath, few deep breaths if it needs more. Just put your hand on your heart and just center yourself. Center yourself into the deepest part of your being that is truly connected to spirit, truly connected to God, connected to the bigger, vaster energy of who you are, not this limited 3D being within this world. So really step inside and just connect with that energy and ask yourself, what is expected of me right now? And whatever comes, whatever message you receive in that moment, if it's do nothing, then it's do nothing. If it is step away, then it is step away. If it is move, then you move. And the most important thing for me with any of my clients or with anybody that I cross paths with is to say, trust in your innate being to guide you, to support you, and come into awareness again of who you truly are. You are a sovereign being. You were created in the image of the Creator. You are a creator being. So what you focus on is what you will manifest. So keep your mindset positive, keep your emotions positive, and always hope for the best.
Thank you so much. Viewers at home, you've heard it. I hope this conversation that we've had today will allow you to begin to look at your life and say, how am I self-sabotaging in areas where you're self-sabotaging? Will allow you to say, how do I make my life more meaningful than what it is right now? Because the world we live in is very loud. There's just so much noise around us. So much noise around us. I love what she says towards the end. Just close your eyes and center yourself, because within you there is so much power, but you will not be able to realize the power that you have if your ears and your eyes and everything and your senses are so much focused on the noise that is around us. Let us just allow that which is on the inside of us to help us to be grounded and to live a much better, meaningful life. Let us be whole. Let us be whole, because it is hard if you are not going to be centered. You will get through life exhausted. And who wants to go through life exhausted? I know that I don't. And I'm sure that you also don't want that. Until next time, take care. Do subscribe to the channel. Tell somebody else to subscribe to the channel. It is Intimate Conversations with Isa Favored. Make sure that you subscribe so that you get content and you get to hear the conversations that we are having. Until next time, take care.